Hey, brothers and sisters, Father Gary here with Kevin O'Brien, the music director at St. Peter's Church, of course.
Hey, everybody.
And it's the day after Christmas. And
Peace to the Holy Family.
You must be relieved because now you have nothing to do. I mean, you know, music directors, they only work on Sundays, right? A couple hours and that's it.
And that's all there is.
And actually, the reason we are talking is to dispel that myth, because Kevin's really been very busy about planning our Bicentennial concert series for this year. So we're going to talk about that a little this morning. And Kevin, I'm just going to give it to you. And I know you have a whole program going for several months, but maybe we could just highlight what's going to happen in the next couple of months.
Yeah, there's some really great, there's 6 great events coming up in January, February, March they're kind of pairs. They kind of work in pairs. The first one that we have here is in January 22nd and 23rd. We have one of the great organists in the world. His name is Scott Detcher. He used to be at the cathedral down here. He's now at a church in Dallas. He's going to be coming in and playing the complete works of César Franck. Now, who the heck is César Franck? Well, César Franck is, he's one of the great organists in the French tradition. And what that means is, after the Revolution, there was a whole change of things, and he's one of the first people that really gets French music as to what we have today starting. Why does that matter at all? What I think is really cool is that the reason Scott's doing these concerts is because it's 200 years since Franck's birth. It's the same, he was born the year that our parish was started.
That's cool.
And so our parish's time frame, if you will, kind of coincides with Franck, and this music is hand in glove with this organ that we've just built. So it should be all of the big works of Franck over 2 nights, one of the great organs. It should be a really pretty amazing concert.
Okay, so that's January.
That's January for you. And then February, sort of right after that's January set, February 4th and February 6th, 2 really, really special concerts. What we have here is we have the Madeline Choir School visiting town from Salt Lake City.
Madeline Choir School.
The Madeline Choir School, and what they are is a K through 8 grade school, just like ours, St. Peter's School. Except every day they have several hours of music. In addition to math and science and social studies and all of the things that everybody else has, they study music intensely, and then they are the choir at the cathedral in Salt Lake, and they sing several times a week in the cathedral. They sing Mass as part of their school day. So what you would see when you come to that concert on February 6th is you would see our school-age kids coming and doing this most incredible concert. I mean, if you've never seen anything like that, you really must, because it's not kids singing in the abstract. It's kids as part of their faith as Catholic schoolgoers. It's going to be an incredible day.
And you mentioned the 4th?
And then the 4th, what's going to happen is they're coming into town, and we're going to do this concert for a parishioner of ours, Leo Nestor. He was my teacher, he's my friend, taught at CUA, he was the music director of the Basilica. Pretty singular voice in Catholic music in the 20th century. And so if we're doing a concert series that's an anniversary, this festival for Leo will be pretty darn important. It's going to be darn amazing because it's the Madeline is going to, I'm conducting it, Madeline's joining us. We've got a festival choir of not just St. Peter's singers, but singers from all over the city going to come. Washington Symphonic Brass, which is the finest brass in the city, and by extension in the world, want to come and play. It's going to be incredible.
All right, so it's almost like a tribute to Leo.
It was going to be just sort of a tribute concert, and then he got sick and died very fast was when the organ went in, and so now we're finally putting it through, and it's going to be a tribute to him with some pretty incredible folks taking part in that.
Excellent.
Yeah, and then in March, we've got a series, we've got 2 events here on March 5th. One of the local groups called Choralis is coming and doing a French program. The centerpiece is the Messe Solennelle, Solemn Mass, of Louis Vierne, who's in that same school as Franck a little bit later. So hand in glove with that organ back there. That ought to be phenomenal. And then on March 22nd, speaking of anniversaries, this was a lot of fun to plan. It's 50 years, almost to the day, from March 22nd, when one of the most important composers of the 20th century, Olivier Messiaen, came to the United States and premiered a piece that's Meditations on the Trinity at the Basilica, right down the street. Front page of the Washington Post, major event. 50 years being marking that day in that concert. Jeremy Filsell, again one of the great organists in the country, organist up at St. Thomas Church on Fifth Avenue, is going to come down and play that piece. That should be It's not only an incredible anniversary, but it's also important because it's Messiaen's musical take on the Trinity. So these are wonderful concerts, but it's not like we're opening a door for anybody. These are all part of the things that were once constitutive part of our faith and have been allowed to go a little bit to the side, become a little fringe, become a little niche.
Okay.
It's more than just Messiah. There's all kinds of things like that. It'll take a minute to let it soak into the ears, but this really are concerts for everybody.
Okay, I was going to ask that. So these will be accessible to our parishioners, and what about the youngsters? I mean, would you encourage family participation at these concerts?
I would say you should come. Now, it's not going to be the same thing as going and playing in the park.
Right.
These are concerts, so it will take everybody a minute to kind of allow it to come and soak in and take a listen. But isn't everything worth having in life kind of like that? So come as you are. If you can't stay the whole thing, then you can go.
Yeah.
Certainly, I think the Madeleine and those two concerts are probably going to be your best bet. But for the purely instrumental stuff, or for the Vier and the Chorales concert, they're meant for everyone. So by all means, our parish, in addition to outside the walls of the parish, should be coming to these.
Okay, so if anyone wants more information, they can find it.
Yep, you can email me. There's some. We're about ready to launch a really wonderful addition to the website, the concert portion of the website. So go to the homepage. On the right is a tab for the concerts. It's about ready to be pretty well updated with some great information.
Okay. Kevin, thanks for all your hard work on this. I'm really excited about these programs, and I hope many of you will be too, excited enough to come and check them out. Maybe one or two, or
come to whatever you can.
Yeah, whatever you
to
can.
All of them. They're free. There's always free will offerings, but they were intended for us in our bicentennial celebration as the musical aesthetic manifestation of our mission to be a tangible manifestation of Christ in the community. So this is Christ the beautiful, made incarnate through music, coming into this wonderful sanctuary in our bicentennial celebration.
All right, looking forward to it, Kevin. Thank you
Yes, sir.
very much.
Thanks, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Blessed New Year.